Alrighty. Whew. Okay, that took a moment because there was another call that I had to take care of, and so that kind of cut a little bit into prep time for the stream. So I had to make sure that I quickly scrambled to get that all set up. Likewise, my noise canceling isn't quite working, so I had to just switch the noise cancellation off on the microphone. Ugh. Too much. Anyways, hopefully things should be a lot more simplified now. So with that in mind, hello everybody. Welcome back to some Indexing Your Heart development. Woo! Today I believe I want to get to most of the puzzle work. So like actually creating puzzles, solving puzzles, that sort of thing. Because last week we got the language inputs done, so that's the keyboard and the numpad, which are critical components in actually getting the puzzles to work. So now it's just a matter of actually getting the puzzles themselves to work, which will be fun. So yeah, we will see how that goes. So there's going to be a lot of porting magic going on there. Now, of course, off camera, I did mention this last week, I think. I did finally take care of all the tests for the keyboard and the numpad, so that's all good to go now, thankfully. Yay! So if I were to just run that, you would be able to see that we have a whole lot of tests for that. So we have one for the puzzle text field, and then all the unit ones for the keyboard, and, well, the key already had tests, and then the numpad. Numpad has slightly more tests, but that's just because we combined two things into one there. But, I mean, if I were to just run it, you'd be able to see, yep, all the tests are passing, things are working as expected, and I was able to recreate the scenarios like we did on the live stream last week. So yeah, I think the hardest bit in all of this was just trying to make sure that everything was grabbing focus correctly, because by default I think the way that it was set up was not everything was in focus when the scene first starts, so the test would fail because there was nothing to focus on. It was like, oh, that's great. I sure love that. But yeah, so that's all good to go now. So just kind of as a refresher, I will bring that up real quick. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I didn't realize that the transparency effects do that. Huh. You can actually see behind. Weird. Well, on the stream here, you can see the little album cover for the lobby music. That obviously doesn't show on my screen, but I can see from the OBS thing here that it's doing that. But yeah, so mostly all the puzzle stuff is just contained in what was known as the Rollinsport module, which just has all of the glue logic for everything. So just kind of stringing everything together. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So I guess with that in mind, let's find the respective issue and just say status in progress. Apply. Okay. Why is that? Each track is broken again. Lovely. Oh, that might have been why. Status in progress. Yes. Apply. Okay. Now, can I select this as a task? Open. don't create a branch. Okay, there we go. So, we got that set up. Now, let me just remind myself what it is that we actually did for some of these, because I don't quite remember. Because I know Rollinsport did some stuff with saving and loading, but I think it's just these that I want to look at. Puzzle solved, ready, solution found, body entered range, failed to notify message boss, solution found, prefill expected solution, mark correct. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's start with the number one then, because that will probably be the easiest to work with. So I believe we have that inside of here, right? Not the tests. Numpad. Puzzle point number. That's the one. So let's create a new script for that. No, not in Jensen.net. I want to do it inside of you. Yes, I guess we'll make a new directory. Because this is more like a interaction or something, right? Or would this be more considered UI? I guess we'll just create a new mechanics directory and work with that. I think that's what we'll do. Number puzzle, I guess. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, and then just to make sure that we have this, using Godot, make sure to declare this as a partial. And then what was the type of this? So it's an area 2D, but I think it's just a node 2D. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. We'll change the type inside of here to node 2D so it's not freaking out. And then we're going to attach that script I just made. Mechanics, number puzzle, load. Alrighty. So we have that set up. Now I think in the source here, there were two things that we declared, right? So we have puzzle data, or three things. Okay, so we have the expected solution, we have the text for a puzzle ID, and then a picker for the node path. Okay. Yeah, that's something we can certainly do. Public var, well, it's not a var, it's going to be a number. And expected solution. And then we can just mark this with an export. Now I'm gonna have to look into this again. Export properties. Yes. Because I think we can define a range on this, right? Property hint file. Yes. That. Property hint dot range. So 0, 31, and then I don't think we need to do anything else after that, right? Yeah. should be multiples of 1. Do that to be safe. So we're just going to build this just to verify that we get something in the UI. Expected solution. Yep. Okay, great. Cool. So you do have that. And then there's an ID field that we did as well. Export public string puzzle ID. That was something we did too. Yeah. That one should be very straightforward. Yep, puzzle ID. Can I change the way that it appears in terms of the name? Is that a thing I can do? No? Okay. Though I probably should declare an export category puzzle data, because that's how we got the grouping before. Yep. Okay. Or that looks kind of weird, but I think let's change it to group, I think. Yeah, let's just do group. Export group. And then we have a public node path. A numpad, right? So this is the export property hint dot path. Or do we need to do anything else for that? I think we can just do this, right? I think that's a thing you can do a Godot for now. Yeah, cool. So you can just assign this way. That works. Cool. So that is that all set up. Now, to go through here, right, so there are some other things that we need to do for you. Private bool eligible to launch. I think that's what we called it. Yeah. And then public override void ready. That's what we did here. And then we did a private ʔaʃaʃat numpad. Let me change this real quick. Using indexing your heart dot ʔaʃaʃat. And then we're also going to need entities, since that is something that we will need to take care of as well. Yes, yes, okay. What was detection rate? Oh, the area 2D. Got it. That's part of the children. Private area 2D detection ring. We'll set that up real quick. straightforward. Is there anything else we needed to do here? Right, okay. So numpad is get node ʔaʃaʃat numpad of numpad oh, I didn't mean to activate that. Let's see here. And then we did some other things. We'll skip that for now. So it looks like there was some other logic that I did inside of here. Yeah, okay. So we'll add that in as well. Private void body entered range, and then we just have a node 2D body. If we'll figure that out later. So we did detection ring dot body enter, I think, yeah, plus equals body entered range. And then for body exited, we just did something else. Exited plus equals delegate. Eligible to launch is false. Numpad dot hide. Doing the wrong keyboard shortcuts. Okay, great. So we have that going. And then there's another unhandled input thing that we did, which is this one. If input is action pressed interact and eligible to launch, then numpad dot show return. Okay. If input is action pressed cancel. Yes, yes, okay. And eligible to launch. Numpad dot hide return. And I think there was probably more logic to that, right? Yeah. And then there's all this other stuff that we added in. Some of which is relevant, some of which isn't. That's fine. Editing changed. Yeah, so there's more logic that we did inside of that, it looks like. But for now, I just want to see if we can get that to display. So that means we can finally go back into our world, which for now I'm just going to change back to a node 2D to just simplify things. Numpad puzzle field. Isn't that what we're working on right now? Or no. What is this? Oh. Oh, there's a whole other element I gotta add into this. Well, that I wasn't prepared for. Okay, so it looks like we need to do that too. Fun. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do real quick. I need to grab some stuff real quick. So we're gonna do a short break, and then when we come back, I guess we gotta power through the puzzle field for the numpad specifically, because I didn't realize that was its own separate thing too. Whoops. So that's what we're gonna do. So I will be right back. we back? We're back. Cool. Alrighty. We're back. Let's see if we can figure out this missing piece. Because I forgot that there was more to this than just the numpad. So I guess that's a UI thing, huh? Yeah. And what, I think you were a control? Let me, media player. Numpad field, correct? I think it's, yeah. Yeah, it's just a control. Okay. Control using Godot, and then just declare this as a partial class so it doesn't freak out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's what we need. Change type, we'll just make you a control, so you're not freaking out. Okay, that fixed itself, and then we just need to attach the script. And then we're good. Great. So what is it that this node needs to accomplish? VStack, container, label. So we have a label, a numpad, and animator. Current value. Interesting. Let me take a look and see what's going on here in chat real quick. Oh, hey, Matthew. We're getting... I realized, apparently, that I forgot to do a specific control to actually get the number puzzles to work, so I need to add in that little bit of glue. Oops. Not too bad for a Sunday, though. Weekend's been a bit more productive. Let's see. Label, yeah. So I guess we're gonna need to do that, right? So we have a private label. What is that, just the label? Yeah. Private input mechanism. Okay, so that's the actual numpad. And then, what's this last bit here? The animation player? Which I just called animator? Oh, I forgot a semicolon. Wanted to get into some game dev. It's long and arduous, but it's good stuff. What game? Why does YouTube do this to me? Okay, there we go. So, this is a puzzle game created with Godot, and we're porting it over to C#. Originally, the code was written in Swift, but since I need to get it to run and build under Windows, since I'm using that nowadays, I need to rewrite this for C#, so it can do that. So the main idea is that you're going to be learning a language which has its own writing system and numbering system, and you're just going to be learning all that, and there's also some story elements about identity and self-discovery and things of that nature. So that's kind of the main premise of the game, as it were. So right now we're trying to actually get the puzzles themselves to work from the original code. So that's what that's all about. Whee! Thankfully, it's not too bad translating from one language to another. It's just remembering what these things did. So yeah, we have the animator. Cool. And then we have a current value as well, which I'm guessing that's where we're actually storing the value for this. Yeah, but then let's override ready. So we can grab the specific things we need. Yeah, so we're gonna do label equals get node label, please. Thank you. Okay. Do that so it's easier to read. Node label vstack panel container. I'm just gonna copy that. I'm not gonna type that out by hand. It should pick it up. Label. And then we have the same thing for the numpad, right? Get node ʔaʃaʃat numpad. Do the same thing. Vstack numpad. And then animator. Get node animation player. This one is just really simple because it's just at the root. Okay. Software dev by trade or more. So I do work as an iOS app developer, more in the contracting side of things. But I do indie game development just kind of on the side in my own free time as like a hobby thing. So yeah, I work with Swift on a regular basis. Fun stuff. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. So we got that. So these are all set up for us. And then we have, what is this? Try input mechanism connect, return signal name to input return. So this is where we're actually connecting the input returned. Okay. So numpad dot returned. Yep, here we are. Now it doesn't look like we do much inside of here, so that's fine. Value. Oh, I did this wrong. There we are. So we just set the labels text. Right. So we just do value. Okay. And then current value is value. And then there's a try send actions for editing changed. Why are we listening to editing changed? I guess maybe there's a signal that I use this for. Okay, fine. We can do that. Public delegate void editing changed event handler. Now, do we pass in any values for that? No. No, because that's a method I wrote myself. Okay, so emit signal. Signal name dot editing changed. Fine. I'm not sure if I quite like that, but I'm sure there's a reason why I did that. Register field value. Class info property. Register field? What does register field do here? Value. I don't see what that's actually used for in here. Is that just so you can access the value in Godot? That's probably what it is. Because we just declare it public here. Okay. That's probably what that's all about. Okay, so then we do have two animations in here. Public func mark correct. Which all this does is just run animation. What is run animation? No, that's not part of it. Is that a internal thing? Where is this? Where is this defined? Why did I do this to myself? It was very strange. Did I define this elsewhere? Maybe inside of here? Form controls, input, no. Is it one of these? It might be one of these. Current value to vary. Oh, so we do... Oh, I don't know why that's there. So where is run animation? Ah, okay, that's what it is. So it's just saying to stop the current animation and to not keep the state. And then we just play that animation. Okay. What is the name for this? I think it's just what? Correct or incorrect? Yeah, just correct. Or wait, I think that's defined in here, no? Yeah, just correct. Okay, cool. Works for me. That's void, not func. Public void mark incorrect. You just got to do the same thing again. Animator, there we go. Stop. Don't keep the state. Animator dot animator, thank you, dot play. Incorrect. And that's all that does. Okay. So that's what those fields are for. And then there's also clear, which we got to do too. Public void clear. So current value becomes 0. And then the label's text. Okay. Label text is now just a bunch of question marks. Animator stop. This time we don't care about keeping state. Input mechanism clear. Is there a reason why we do that? Numpad dot. Oh, you know what? It's because it probably has the same value in it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's go to its declaration and add that method. Public void clear. Current value is 0. That's all we need to do. And I think there was more to that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Foreign controls? No. Input? Yes. Okay, and then I just need to go through all the keys. Got it. Key 1, button pressed is false. Key 2, button pressed is false. Key 4, button pressed is false. Key 8, button false. Key That's all that does. Okay, that's fine. So we'll close out of that. So we'll go back to you, numpad.clear. Okay, cool. Cool beans. That was the wrong one. I'm going to click here so we can look back at the original. This one. Yes, yes. Yeah, okay. So we do that, yes. And then we have a label modulate. Colors dot white. And then we put a debug message, but we'll ignore that. Input returned. Oh, that was for this. There's prefill. Okay, so we also need a prefill method. Fine, we can do that. Public void prefill and new value. Current value is new value, and then label text is why are you doing that? There we go. There we go. That was weird. And that's all that does, right? Yes. So now, can we go back to you? I think we can go back to you, since now we have the controls for this. So you're not supposed to be a numpad. You're supposed to be a... where are you? Refactor, rename. You're supposed to be that. Right, okay. So we got that set up. So let's go back to the actual glue code now, which is in here. Yes, puzzle nodes, number puzzle node. Okay. So this is where the editing changed comes in. Okay. So we have, don't you scream at me, Windows. Yes, editing changed plus equals Oh. Oh, did I not declare the... Yeah. Yeah, that would do it. Okay. If not eligible to launch, then we're going to return. If value is not equal to the expected solution, then we're going to puzzle field numpad dot mark incorrect return. Otherwise, we're going to just mark that correct, like that. And then I think that's just it, and then there's just some other logic there, which I'm just going to mark as a to-do. Send signal for puzzle solved here. And then I think that's that, yeah? Oh, did we also update the body entered range? No, we did not. Let's do that too. So, eligible to launch is, body is anthro-player. Do we have this imported? Yes, we do. Excellent. So then we do a debug, and then to do send signal for requesting a puzzle solve. And then if eligible to launch, I'm just gonna, well, actually, I think we actually do have the logic for this. So display server is touchscreen available and eligible to launch. Yes, and then we're just gonna call puzzle field numpad dot show. And then I think that's that. And then there's stuff for solution found. This is probably not going to work, but we'll see. We'll see. So now we go back to the world. So we have the number field. So we'll go to U, I think. Yeah. Puzzle point. Yeah, you have that data there. So the question is, why can I not assign it from here? Do I need to like reload this or something? Is there a thing to reload that? No. Let me close out of the editor and try again. That might do the trick. Developer, Godot. Oh. Screaming about the word ones that we haven't done yet. No, it still won't let me. Okay, fine. I mean, it looks like all their positions are lost anyway, so we're going to have to recreate these. Same thing for this too. So we'll delete those. Now, so this is the first one, right? So let's stick you here. just going to do numbers 1. Assign, that's our numpad. Puzzle data 1. I think, yeah. And then we just put you right there. So ideally, when we start, we should be able to interact with that and do things. Or cry in her sleep because something is broken. Where? Jensen reader. What are we trying to do with a Jensen reader? Oh. Oh, because I never set this. That would be why. Preamble v3. Not that we have logic to do anything with that, but yeah, that's important. I'm not being displayed though. I don't know why. I'm just going to delete the reader for now. That's what we're going to do. No? You're still crying in her sleep? What's wrong? Cast helpers, unable to cast object of type Godot control to puzzle numpad field. Oh? Oh, is this not valid anymore? So we need to do this now? Yeah, that's probably what it is. So thankfully the path seems to be preserved. No errors, but the player still isn't working. And I think it's because I need to redo the player object here. So let's do that. So we'll do a player 2, stick the camera, delete this, and then just rename you to player, and then we're good, I think. Yes, but we're underground, apparently. So I need to set the Z ordering. I think we're set to, what, 1? Have to look the source control changes to see. Yeah. Gimme! No. Godot native calls. Returning a null pointer. Oh? So this needs to be reset. Got it. Try that again. No, you still no likey. Why do you still no likey? Node path not found camera relative to root world player. Oh, because you need to be renamed camera, not camera 2D. That's what you're freaking out about. Okay, camera works, cool. Nothing happening when we do that though. Part of me wonders. Let's see if that's actually getting fired or not. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller because we should be getting something going on here. So I'm going to put a breakpoint. We'll start this. Now, let's see here. Build, run, attach to process. Godot, this one, attach. Okay, here we go. Interesting. This eligible to launch is true. Okay. It's got a mind of its own now. That's fun. Okay, so that's working. Is it because we're doing this? Maybe it's because we're swallowing the... See if that helps. Nothing is happening. Okay. Fine. So that's not particularly great. So let's put a breakpoint. Just debug from here. Oh, ay caramba. Okay, that's not working out so well. Let me check the mapping. Maybe it's something to do with that. Project settings, input map. What is interact? Interact E. Yeah, so I am pressing the correct key. So that's not an issue. Yet nothing happens. Oh, is it because this layer is... Is that what this is about? That might be it. Ah, okay. Cool. It works! My time machine works! Well, it's not a time machine, but you get the idea. Nice. Very good. Excellent. So now we get the honors to scatter these all around. So that's fun. So let's do that. So we have that. We have this one here. So that's a puzzle point number. Numbers 2. Puzzle data. And then we're just going to drag you right onto there. Yes, yes. Okay. And then we got to do the same thing for these suckers. Can I just duplicate this? Yes, I can. Numbers 4. But the ID is going to be that because it's the third one in the sequence. Make sure I'm grabbing the right one there. And yep, cool. See, that's the nice thing. And then once we figure out all the other bits of like, oh, how do we send that the puzzle was solved and save it or whatever, then everything else is good to go. So that's good. Okay, so Control D does what I need. That works. Okie dokes, and now we just drag you around and put you in the center. It's probably like a smarter way to do this, but this is fine. There we go. So now if I were to go around all these, I should be able to solve them, right? Yeah, there's a weird bug going on with that. Very good. Yes. Cool. That is one other thing that I should probably do too, just to be sure. I mean, I guess we could probably clear it when it's hidden. And that should do the trick. Yeah. Yeah. So that way, when we leave, it should not have the same values as before. So 1, walk away, come back. Oh, that didn't quite work. Huh. Do we need to clear it before it's hidden? I think we need to clear it before it's hidden. Oh, because I'm doing the cancel thing, not from this. That's where we need it to launch. My bad. Yep. Okay, cool. At some point, we'll reinsert the support that pre-fills it so you know, oh, this is the correct answer, kind of thing. Yeah, and then hitting escape is what causes it to do that. Oh, also, weird Z clipping there. Huh. I think the Z order on the player's wrong. What is it supposed to be? We can check this to see. Player Z index is, or Y sort enabled is false. Ah, that's what it is. So now if I were to run this, it should respect the things. Yes? No? Scale is no. Script is no. Is it really that? I don't trust that for a second. I think it really is supposed to be Z index is 1. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so number's 8. Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna need to... I need to pull up OneNote because I forgot what the solutions were. And just put that down here so I can reference it. Okay. There. Okay, we're good. It's Control D, right? Let's stick you here. Yes. And then that. And then the next one is, okay, so we'll do this again. Let me turn up the music a little bit while I do this real quick. Just so we got the chill vibes going. That's interesting. I skipped that one in the list. Interesting. Okay, so there's probably a reason I cut it out. I just don't know what it was. Okay. I can work with that. Okay, and then this should be the last one of the main track. Just like that, and then there's just one tiny one that we gotta do, which is all the way down here. That's this one. What was the... Let me look. Let me look. Okay. Cool. Yay! What am I doing? Turned off the music. That's what I'm doing. Or lowering it, I should say. So the player should not be all the way up here. Oop. Yeah, that makes it easier to grab. No. Grabbing the player. We go right there. Okay. So let's run that again, and now we should be good. Excellent. Cool. Alrighty. So that's a good sign. Yeah, so this is going to require some homework this week will be to write integration tests for that. Fun. Okay. You're doing very good. Recreate number puzzle nodes. I'm gonna mute myself real quick and turn up the volume, so that way you don't have to hear me or watch me try to do this. Okay, we're committed there. So let me take a look real quick and see what's going on with chat. You swift diabolical. I mean, Swift is not a bad programming language. I actually quite like writing in Swift. The thing is, the reason why I'm moving over from Swift to C#/.NET is because it's because of the fact that, like, after doing some analysis on the code, I thought that it wasn't worth the trouble to get the Windows side working with Swift. Simply because it was like, oh, well, I still am going to need to use Mac to get the Mac versions of the binaries working correctly, and then I also need to do the Windows stuff, and it just kind of became a little bit of a hassle, and I was like, while I do have to rewrite the entire code base essentially for migrating it to .NET/C#, it would be better in the long run, because then it means that there's no strict dependencies on anything. You don't need to necessarily build native binaries for each of these modules just to get the game to function. Since it all goes through .NET's Common Language Runtime. From there, it would just be, now you just have to worry about doing things with, what am I trying to say? It would just be a matter of exporting the actual game itself that you'd have to worry about doing it for separate platforms, rather than the actual libraries that actually make the whole thing work. I know there's a fair amount of people that don't like Swift because it's related to Apple, and in their eyes, Apple bad for everything. But I try to kind of stay away from that because mostly I prefer to take a more nuanced look at it, like look at the language for what it is, not necessarily because of any associations with a corporation or something. Because I kind of feel it's a little bit unfair, per se, to look at it that way, because I've learned over the years it makes more sense to use tools that will enable you to do the work to the best of your ability. And sometimes if that means, like, yeah, you have to use Swift or you have to use Go, then so be it. So I don't necessarily agree with the whole take of Swift bad because Apple bad. Because I feel that's kind of discrediting the language without actually even analyzing to see how Swift is as a language for you and whether Swift accomplishes what you need it to do. Right? Because, like, on the Playdate side of things, I use Swift to write the game package resolved. And in that scenario, Swift does work nicely. I do kind of prefer some things in it compared to C or Lua. But at the same time, there are also some other things that we have to kind of get around that I may or may not necessarily enjoy, like the limited strings thing. Then again, I need to update the code base a little bit to make sure that that works correctly with the new Swift string stuff. Right, so like, but I analyzed and looked at that based on the merits of each of the languages, not strictly because of like a blind allegiance to Apple with Swift. So that's why I say it's important that when it comes to like looking at these languages and stuff, like look at it for what the language is, what it does, whether it works for you, not necessarily whether it aligns with a specific company or a corporation or what have you. So yeah, I mean, of course, that kind of take necessarily doesn't necessarily give you clicks on the internet. So oh well. so be it. Anyways, that's kind of going off topic there. But yeah, that's why I'm going to C#. Mostly because I figured at the time, after doing a discovery on it, yeah, it makes more sense to just migrate over to .NET, since it would just be easier in the long term, rather than like a short-term gain of just like, oh, well, I don't have to write any extra code to get the Swift side working on Windows. That's what that's all about. Anyway, I think we kind of rambled on a little bit too long about languages there. So here's where we're at, right? The number bits are working, but we don't have a system for saving the solutions. That we can work on another time. The next thing that we're going to need to do is a very similar thing, but for the actual words. This may be a little bit more complicated, but shouldn't be too complicated, since this is the same thing as the number thing, just with a couple extra steps. So what I'm probably going to do is, I did run low on my drinks. I will need to restock on that. I also need to take care of one quick thing real quick, so we'll do another short break, and then we'll see if we can power through adding the word puzzles next. And then maybe after that, we can take a look into seeing whether we can actually save the state of puzzle solves and get that message bus working. So, yeah, that is what we're going to do. Don't do anything too crazy during the break. We will be right back. Okay, let's see here. We are back. Alrighty. Let's see what we could do about the word puzzles next. That'll be fun. I think we may need to add similar things to... Before we do anything, I think we may need to add that for the UI. Right, because we have puzzle text field. Well, I mean, I guess all we need to do would be to add extra changes to this, right? Show hide. Well, we will need to do a text field clear. So, I mean, that is something we're going to need to do. So we can add that real quick before we do anything. Clear. Text. Current text is this. Current rendered text is this. And so we got to do the same thing for the labels. Or did we do something about that? Yeah, text label dot text is that, just so that way that is all set up for us. Okay. Yeah, so now we just need to provide the same things when we do that. Okie dokes. We can do that. Word puzzle. Yep. So let's make this a quick Godot node. Just like that. And then before we do anything, we're going to come back into the editor. I'm going to do this. Change, save, and then attach that script. Mechanics, word puzzle, kaboom. Okay, we are attached. So now I just kind of need to do the same thing here. But we'll change some things around. So we get rid of this and change this to string expected solution. And then we just need to change U to be keyboard, or in this case text field. Yes? Yes. Okay, so if we were to build this in the editor real quick, we should be able to verify those fields show up. Yes? Yep, there they are. Okay. So we got that going for us. So we just need to set this up. Get a number puzzle. Yeah. So let's do that. Okay. So get node area 2D U, like that. And then we also need to get the text field. Private puzzle text field. Text field of that. Yes. So we got that going. Then we just got to add the same logic for the eligible to launch is false. Yeah, okay. So we just do the same thing again. So there are a couple of things that we do with that. Okay. So let's do the body exited real quick. In which we just say eligible to launch is false. Text field clear, and then hide, like this. Cool. And so we have a whole body entered range thing, so we'll do that too. Node 2D body. Detection ring dot body entered plus equals body entered range. So if body is not what am I doing? Anthro-player. And I'm gonna do that. Return. Oh, use negated pattern. Oh, I didn't realize you could just straight up write is not. The more you know. Oh, that's not what we do though. Okay. Yeah, and then we just do a text field clear. And then there's the request for solve thing. So if display server dot is touchscreen available, eligible to launch, text field dot show. Okay. So now we just gotta do that. Text field dot editing changed. Text field changed input. Delegate. Where what we just say text field stop. No. Where were you defined? Here? There's no animator. What? There's an animator? Oh, there is an animator. Huh. Okay. That's peculiar. I guess I must have ignored that when I was doing this. Huh. Fine then. I guess we're going to need this to be exposed, right? Can I do a public read-only? I think sticking it here won't be a big deal. And And then keep state is what in this case? False. Okay. Oh. Is read-only except in constructor or init-only setter of the type in which the field is defined. Oh. That's why we don't do read-only. Okay. Well, I don't like exposing that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to just come down here. Okay, so instead of just calling it directly here, we can just say stop animations. And then that solves that problem. Okay, great. Void text field returned string value text field returned plus equals text field that. Okay, so if eligible to launch, return. If value is not the expected solution, then we're going to mark incorrect, return. I know, it doesn't exist. We'll get to it. Otherwise, we will text field dot mark correct. And then to do add signal emission for complete. All right, so now we go back here to add that. Which should be just the same thing as the other things, right? So we just say stop, and then that's all we need to do. And then there's just a couple of other things, which is already stuff that we covered. Okay, fine. So I think then that handles most of the logic needed. So now I guess let's go slap this into a world. So we'll create a new primitive. Keyboard puzzle? No, we want puzzle point word. Oh, I don't think we handled the... just realized that. Did we actually write the code to do this? I don't think we did. No, we did not. Okay. Interact. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, there we go. We're grooving. We're grooving. Then, okay. And then I think that should be set. Now I need to go find where this is located. It's this giant one here. So now we just go down, plop this here. Text field is you, but before I do that, because I know you're going to get picky, we do this. Assign. Okay. I think this is key value, right? Not rendered value. We'll find out. Throw the music back up while we're at it. Cool. So that did exactly what I wanted. That's good. That will make the rest of this a lot easier then. Also, just to remind myself, okay. This one, I will need to reference my other sheet again. I mean, I should probably know these off the top of my head, but I don't always. So, yeah. I guess this is going to be another quick chill and fill. I don't know. That sounded weird. So, yeah, here we go. Okay. Now to test them, because I think they should be all good, but some of them, because of the way that you type them into the keyboard, may not necessarily be correct. So I just want to check to make sure that all of those line up correctly. So... oh, because I actually typed it wrong. Good job, me. Cool. This is the one that I'm a little bit concerned about. Okay, cool. Good. Excellent. Good. Okay. That's not right. Try that again. Am I typing it right? Oh. I see. Is the visual wrong? Oh. Okay. Time to do some conlang research. Doing it live. Oh, do I need to find the thing? I need to find the thing. Okay. Give me a moment. Here. Here. No, not that. That's the one I wanted to open. There we go. Okay. Okay. So let me take a look. Cylinder, kabutui. Yet the visual says kabatui. Okay. That's interesting. So the visual is wrong. I guess that explains a lot. Yeah. This right here is supposed to be a circle, not a square. Because we're spelling out an entirely different word that doesn't exist. Good job. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. So we have the numbers. We have the primitives. All we need to do is just add the things for like, oh, now you've solved the puzzle. We'll save it in your dictionary or whatever, and then we're good. We're good. Alrighty. I like that. Good progress today. Good progress today. Okay. So I guess one moment again while we do this real quick. Okie dokes. Fire away. Okay. So we're doing a pretty good job with this. So I guess kind of quickly recoup here and see what else, or see what it is, or think about what we need to do for this. Right? Just a kind of quick roadmap check for everything. So, actually, you know what? Let's just run the game. And I think that should be a good visual background for this. Can I make this full screen? I cannot. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, let's move you up towards the numbers. Okay. So, what is it that we're going to need to do after this? So we're going to need to implement the logic that actually handles when a puzzle is solved to then save and load that information, as well as the player's position. So I think save and load system is probably what we're looking at here. And then the other thing, since I did have to temporarily remove it from the world to get this to work, we do need to add the story section back in. I may have to think about how this is going to be done, though, because in the grand scheme of it, when the game starts, the story would just load almost immediately. And if we were to add this right now, it would kind of do that regardless, and I think it would still be processing all the user inputs from everything else. So we would need to figure that part out as well. I think the original prototype figured that out. But we may or may not need to make some tweaks depending on how this works. And then I think after that, that probably would sum up almost everything that would need to be done to put this back in the playable prototype state that it was before. Because right now, it's pretty much very playable, right? I could go here, I can mark some random input, right? The whole puzzle stuff works, right? It's just a matter of just saving and keeping track of the player's progress, as well as going back to adding the story. Because when you start, normally you'd start here and the beginning story would play. That doesn't happen right now, though, because of the fact that we removed that because it was kind of blocking the way when we were doing this. So that's something we'll have to look into. But other than that, I might be set to reopen the demo. I may be able to re-release this prototype to everyone and hopefully get a wider audience, since now there will be a properly supported Windows version, which will be nice. Because I know that there were a fair amount of people that were interested, but couldn't play it because it didn't work on Windows. So that would be great to have that done, which we're mostly there now, thanks to this porting over. So yeah, I think what we'll probably do is next week we'll start doing some of the save stuff, or I may even do that in the background, and we may just do some other things next week. I know I still have to write the integration tests to test everything here, just to verify that all these inputs work without us having to open the game to do it, and test it manually. And then I think from there, yeah, after that we should be able to address some things such as like dialogue history, because I know that was a requested thing from when I launched the prototype for iOS a while back. And then some other tile map related stuff, since we had that going too. And then after that, probably more brainstorming of actual puzzles and whatnot. So that should be fun. So I think we're at a good point now, I think, where we can just yeah. So I think, given all the stuff that we've done today, I think we can call it here and then pick up next week on getting the rest of this polished up and ready to go. I think that will be the roadmap going forward. So with that in mind, if you enjoyed today's development stream, feel free to hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe for the next time that I stream Indexing Your Heart development. I was going to say something else. Yeah, I'll be doing this again hopefully next Sunday. Same time. And yeah, take care everyone. Happy coding.